Welcome to the cloud, spot where I talk to people who are chasing their dreams and also living them as well too. Today we got a special one, man. My man Dajuan Coleman, former SU basketball player, former Mr. New York, all basketball, that's across the state. Played at SU, had a hell of a high school career over at Jamesville DeWitt. Now the young man is out here working but giving back to his community as well too. We're gonna get into his interests. We're gonna get into his life and how he came up. Yeah. Just have a dope ass conversation. But as I said, my man Dajuan.
Word, you already know.
What's good, man? How you been?
I'm chilling.
Been all right? How's your day? All right?
Pretty good, man.
All right, man. We're gonna jump it off. We know what we're here for, right? We want to know about the story. Gotta say, one of my most noticeable guests that I've had so far. Yeah. So I appreciate you taking the time out to rock with me. But let's start from the beginning. Where are you from?
So I'm from west side of Syracuse. Born and raised, family of 6. I got 3 brothers, 2 sisters. I'm the youngest.
Okay.
We all got the same mother and father.
That's what's up.
And just started balling at a young age.
I hear that, man. Yeah. So we talk about Syracuse. We both work out there. You from there. I'm starting to work out there. A lot of times in the news and the media, you get the bad things from the Cuse. Yeah. You hear about people getting killed and things of that nature, but there's a beautiful culture out there as well, too. If you could tell us anything about your city, what are the things that you think are like the positive things of the Cuse?
A lot of talent. Sports players, entrepreneurs, businessmen, people that work in the community. It's a lot of things that's going on in Syracuse, but I think we get overshadowed because, it's Syracuse. It's not like really big in New York State. Mm-hmm. Everybody always looking at like the city. Mm-hmm. They don't really look upstate. You feel me? So I think we always get overlooked just being upstate, like Buffalo, Rochester, mm-hmm. Buffalo, Syracuse area. So
exactly, I feel you. Yeah. I think that's definitely the truth as well too. I think working out there, I could agree with you. Yeah. I've seen different parts of Syracuse that only living a half hour away, I guess I necessarily wasn't privy to, but I think it's a beautiful city, not only to work in, but to live in, with a lot of beautiful people, creative minds, like-minded minds. Yeah. And I think that's dope for sure. So you said you are one of 6. What's the name of your siblings, and which one of them was like the one that you either looked up to the most? And let's have some fun. Which one was like your arch rival? Which one were you beefing with all the time?
Let me break that down. So I'm gonna start with me, Dajuan. Then I got a brother, Daquan. Mm-hmm. He's 31. So what you call that? Irish twins?
Y'all the same age for a little bit?
Same age for the 11 months.
Copy. My father's one of 14, so I understand exactly what you're saying. 2
sisters after us, Trainisha and Danisha. Mm-hmm. Then I got my older brother, a few years older than them, Deshawn and C. Antoine. So Danisha about 34, Trainisha about 33. Mm-hmm. 30, my brother 31. Deshawn is about 37, and my St. Antoine is about like 41.
Okay.
Yeah.
So which one of your siblings were the ones that you kind of were motivated by, looked up to?
The sibling I looked up to the most was Deshawn because he was the one that was in sports. Mm-hmm. So me and my brother Daquan, we really looked up to him. That was our like role model. Then we just started from there. We started playing sports in about middle school.
That's what's up. So what middle school did you go to in the Cuse?
I went to Fraser.
So Fraser. Now here's what I don't understand still. Are middle schools connected to high school still, or can you go from any middle school to any high school in the city?
When I was in middle school, yeah, it was connected. So Blodgett and Fraser, the schools on the west side, you automatically go to Fowler.
Okay, copy. Yep. And then how was it so the other schools was like, what was?
It depends on like your side of town.
Copy. So Roberts would go to Corcoran.
Yup.
All right, bet. Sounds good. All right, so moving forward, man, explain your childhood. What was it like growing up in the Cuse? What were some of your favorite moments just as a kid, solid as a kid, nothing to do with sports, anything like that?
Favorite moments? Just probably playing outside with my friends. I was real big on the Boys and Girls Club. We used to do that every day. Besides that, going to the parks. A lot of kids don't really do that no more.
For sure.
Going to the park, playing football. Getting our knees dirty. Going to my grandparents' house on the weekend. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much it.
So you know what I'm saying? The one thing Cuse got that we don't have here in Auburn, New York, is a lot of like corner stores, a lot of like ethnic places to eat, a lot of culture just everywhere, like little boutiques, people that's selling shirts. Everybody out there seems like it's hustling, right? What were some of your favorite spots to hit as a kid? What were some of your favorite items to eat? You know what I'm saying? As a kid, for me, like I got used to be a Rose's Bakery. I used to hit that spot after every time I left middle school, or there's a Drex Subs, which you got in other places. But for us, that was the spot we would hit, or Wegman Subs, some things like that. But for y'all got so many other varieties and things like that. What were some of your favorite spots as a kid to go hit?
I mean, it depends. Like, how young you talking?
We'll start. If you was going to get your favorite icy ice cream as a little kid, you was chasing, if you had the opportunity to chase down, you know what I'm saying, your favorite snack, where was you gonna go?
So I might just hit the corner store, probably get some wings or something.
Which corner store?
Right over on the west side.
Midway? Or that's not, is Midway technically the west side?
Midway is more, it's the west, that's the deep west side, but that shit more like downtown.
Copy.
But I'm talking about more like the Richmond area, kind of right by Blodgett.
Okay.
And keep it real, I don't even be knowing, it's just a corner store.
Yeah.
I don't know the name.
You don't know the name? For me? But you say you go to the corner store, everybody know where you're going.
Everybody know where you're going.
So you say, when would you say, at an age probably during middle school, anything like that, when did you start really honing in on like, all right, basketball is the thing that I want to do?
Damn, because at first I was a football player.
Okay, what position?
Tight end and DN.
Copy.
So in 8th grade, I was playing varsity. Tight end and DN for varsity. I started like midway through the season, but then I ended up transferring to JD. Mm-hmm. So when I got to the 9th grade, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna focus straight on basketball. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I stopped playing football. I was playing like AAU basketball, and like that summer, going from 8th grade to 9th grade, I was playing for an AAU team called Westchester Hawks.
Okay.
I ended up playing 15U. This was a team that was in the city.
As an 8th grader, you played 15U?
Yeah. So this was a team that was in the city because this was the nearest team that was going to like nationals.
Yeah.
I fuck around again on that team. I was working my way down to the city. We went to Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. Mind you, my 7th grade year, I wasn't even really good at basketball. I was just trying out because I was big. Mm-hmm. I wasn't good at all. Mm-hmm. I was probably average like 2 points. Feel me?
Yeah, I feel you.
Hold on, that's what I got you. I gotta tell this story because I never even told this story before.
That's what we're gonna talk. We're gonna have this conversation and talk, chop it up. But I gotta ask, I'm a short man. I don't even know what the air up there smell like, feel like.
Yeah.
So how tall were you at this time? We're going to chronologically put your height.
That's what I'm saying.
You 7th grade, backing up, wasn't good at ball.
When I was in 7th grade, I was about 6'6".
Golly.
6'7". I never even touched the basketball. I was a football player.
Yeah.
I never even touched the basketball. I started playing basketball for Modified. I wasn't good at all. Mm-hmm. Feel me? Probably average, I don't even think 2 points. I couldn't even,
couldn't finish
walking chew gum at the same time. Nah, for real. So I was like, all right, so it was kind of discouraging after the season because I'm like, damn, I'm trash in basketball. Man, let's backtrack because I told you I'd be going to the Boys and Girls Club. Yep. So it was an AAU team working out of the Boys and Girls Club called Syracuse Select.
Okay. Yep, I do know them very well.
It's this guy named Coach Putney was like, yo, he need to be in here. You feel me?
Yeah.
They was having a tryout, right? Mm-hmm. Like during the winter, like getting ready for AU season. The lady that was running the club and called me like one day. I was like, yo, I didn't even come to the Boys and Girls Club that day because it was a tryout, but I ain't come. She was like, yo, you need to get up here. The coach is asking about you, blah, blah, blah. I think this is a good opportunity for you. So I was like, all right, fuck it. So I woke up out of my sleep, went to the tryout. I did good, but he was like, you know what? You made the team already. Like, you got the height.
Yeah,
you feel me?
For sure. With height comes a ceiling, with potential.
This was after my Modified season.
Okay.
So I'm still thinking like, I ain't really that good. I'm a football player. I ain't really that good. But the season ended, and this man was working with me from the season ended to going into my 8th grade year. I was average, and I was waking up at 6 a.m. every day.
Going to work out?
Working out with this dude.
As a kid that age, what was your drive? 6 in the morning, we want to play video games. You want to be getting your knees dirty, as you said, with your friends. What was it?
My drive was, one of my friends just passed away. Johnny Chambers. Rest in peace to Johnny Chambers. Yeah, rest in peace to Johnny. That whole season when I was playing Modified, it happened in like October. And I don't know, I was just probably just going like, through like depression. I would just sleep. I was just at the crib sleeping and shit. So that's when I tell you, when she called me, I'm at the crib sleeping. I'm going through shit.
Yeah.
You feel me?
As a 7th grader, though.
7th grader.
You know, 7th grade, like, in Syracuse, I need y'all to understand something. Where we work at, they go through that
But this is what I'm trying to tell you. Like, when we be working with these kids is me.
For sure.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I be knowing what they be going through and shit. You feel me? So when I be breaking down my story, I ain't never even told. Like, I don't do like the podcast and all that shit.
I feel you.
Because I be feeling like you got to understand. I be dealing with this shit since 7th grade. I don't got time for all this shit.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
But you know what? You need a place to do it. This the place to do it.
Yeah.
7th grade, coach is working with you every day. Your drive, your man's passed away. Johnny Chambers, rest his soul. So what you saying? You think it was a way for you to let out whatever you was holding in, subconsciously or consciously?
Yeah, exactly. I just needed like an outlet.
Yeah.
You feel me? I feel like I've been going. I was going into like a slump. I'm sleeping all but that's what I'm saying. That was probably like the first time I'm really dealing with some shit like that. I don't even know what to do. I don't know how to deal with it. But I'm about to go to the crib and sleep.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then when I feel better, then I might go back to the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah.
You feel me?
For sure.
But she actually hit me up and she's like, yo, like this might be a good opportunity for you, yo. You need to come up here and work out for this team. It's a traveling team. I don't know what the fuck the traveling team is.
I hear you.
Feel me? So when I just know about just playing in my neighborhood, we go to the Boys and Girls Club and I go to the, I go to the crib, like, it's a cycle. So I end up getting up there, sleepy eye, you feel me? Because I just took a nap, so I'm like, they was like, you know what, you made the team, then, you know what I mean? It just started from there.
In Central New York, as much as they don't come down and see us like you say all the time or come up and see us from the city, it's a rich basketball culture throughout the CNY, right? And a lot of that is built dead in the heart of Syracuse, New York. Inner city kids who had no other choice but to go pick up a basketball, go to their local park to keep their minds off of the shit they was going through, right? So with that being said, name some of your most legendary Syracuse basketball players that you could think of while you were coming up. You 7th grade, 8th grade, you looking at them like, yo, I'm trying to play like them. They want me to play. They make me want to play.
I would say legendary basketball players from Central New York. I would say Greg Paulus.
For sure. So how old were you in comparison when he was hooping? You was a...
Shit, Greg Paulus came up when what? 2003?
Yeah, so that was my freshman, either 8th grade going into freshman year.
2003, Andre Blatch. I ended up seeing Andre Blatch play at Hamilton Street Boys and Girls Club when I was probably in like the 6th grade.
Yeah.
Dunking everything. Deshaun Wright.
Nasty fouler, right?
Yup. I see Deshaun Wright play.
He was a lefty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those was the main three. Brandon Trish.
Nasty. Bree Trish was one of the first players I saw with my own eyes. You know when you watch a basketball player play against other people and the game just looks like they playing in slow motion?
Yeah.
Like Trish just looked like nobody was there. It looked like he was just dribbling. All right, I'm gonna get to this spot. When I get there, I'm gonna finish. It is, you know what I'm saying? He just looked like that. Funny story about Andre Blatch, side story. So my brother, Ali Sim, graduated from CNS. So we did an Easter tournament out here at BTW. Yeah. And Blatch comes out, his man's from Henniger, and they come play with us or whatever. Boy came in here, tore the house down. You would have thought BTW was packed with kids. Yeah, all of that, man. It was a dope experience, man. He was a funny dude, down-to-earth dude. I don't even know if he remember it, but when you said that name, another person I saw too, Terry Smith from Bishop Ludden, right? Nasty. I always say that that Final Four at Manley Fieldhouse, it was CBA versus Henniger, Greg Paulus versus Blatch, and then it was Utica Proctor, Josh Wright versus, I think it was the other way. I think it was CBA and Bishop Ludden played against each other, and that was Paulus and Terry. That was they call it the Holy Wars or whatever. And then they had Henniger versus Utica Proctor, Josh Wright, Andre Blatch.
See, I never seen Josh Wright play.
That boy was nasty. That's when they still had the Zebra Classic. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He was nasty. Getting back to you though, man, you hit 8th grade. At what time did you feel like, all right, you started feeling like you got your coordination, you know what move, you know what I'm saying? You was just gonna start dominating the game. Was it from 7th grade going into your 8th grade summer? And what type of traction were you gaining? Were you getting recruited? Was there any like little colleges shooting at you at a young age, anything like that?
So it started when I told you I was playing Syracuse Select, but this was a regional team. I ended up getting on the Westchester Hawks.
So how'd you get there? How did you end up seeing
the coaches know each other.
Copy. So they
like, yo, I got a player.
Yeah.
You know, he could benefit being on your team. So I ended up going 15U in the Nationals in Cincinnati. I went to Cincinnati, so they flew me out 8th grade. I went to Cincinnati, tore that shit up. You hear me?
Tore it up?
Tore it up.
Give me some stats. What you do?
Like just dunking on everybody. Like, I mean, dunking on everybody. I mean, I was averaging probably like 20 and like 15 probably.
Oh, you was killing.
25 and 15. It's AAU basketball.
Yeah.
So the kids don't really know me. But I'm the only kid from upstate New York. They all from downstate.
From the city.
Yeah. We get back to the hotel after like the first day. You know how you
because you play multiple games.
You play in multiple games.
Yeah.
So we get back to the hotel and they on ESPN. And they talking about, yo, they wrote a story about you.
Also, hold on.
Yo.
You in 8th grade?
Yeah.
So you was averaging 20 and 15. This day one?
This is 15U though.
Yeah, and you in 8th grade.
Yeah.
And what they called you? What was the accolades?
They wrote a story about you and was the top 8th graders to look after. And my name was one of the top 5.
That's fire.
So I'm like, oh shit, this shit, ESPN, I don't know what the fuck this is.
Yeah.
They coming to me, they talking about, you on ESPN, you top ranked. I just came from the Boys and Girls Club. I don't know about none of this.
So what was the time frame between the Boys and Girls Club to you being ranked?
3 months.
Golly.
That's when my life changed like
that.
Like that. From the 6 a.m. workouts every day. But that's what I'm saying. I'm beasting in these workouts.
Yeah.
I'm waking up at 6 a.m. going hard.
I always try to send a message in that space. Do you believe it was your work ethic and hard work with a mix of who you knew, or do you think it was just them 6 a.m.s popped off and it was what it was?
It's a mix of everything.
Mix of both?
It's a mix of everything because, like you said, I put in the work and I was prepared for the opportunity. You know how they say you gotta be prepared for the opportunity. You gotta put in that work for when you get the opportunity, you can perform.
Copy.
That was everything. Feel me? So I put the work in. I mean, I got out there, did my thing.
They rank you.
And I was ranked within 3 months. I was averaging 2 points on modified.
And now you ranked on ESPN.
ESPN. So like, that's what I'm saying. Like my story is really crazy.
When you say your life changed, what were some of the things that came after you exploded at that tournament?
Everything.
Were you getting phone calls from different AAU coaches? Were you getting, like, explain the game? And now you could talk about the game, because you know they was probably sending you, you know what I'm saying? I know you.
All right, let's get down to it now.
Let's get to it, you know what I'm saying?
So now my mom getting phone calls from coaches and shit talking about, can we move the family down to here and here? I don't want to.
Nah, you good. Just talk. You talking.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't want to say
talking right. You don't got to say nothing specific, but I know the game.
Say no universities and shit.
Fine. You got to say nothing.
We'll move your family down. My mom like, what? Click. Why is they playing on my phone? So
She thinking they prank calls.
yeah, she dead ass thinking like they prank calls and shit. So, and I don't even really know. Know what I mean? I come back to the crib. I'm still going to the Boys and Girls Club. Then it just keep building up, keep building up, keep building up. I'm going to these other tournaments. I'm killing. Now, I was on a 15-year-old team. Mind you, I think I was 14 at the time. I wasn't even 15, but I'm playing up. Now the 17-year-old team, like, yo, we need him. We just seen what he just did to y'all 15-year-old team. Can we bring him up to 17s? So now I get the 17s.
Same thing?
It's the same thing.
Okay.
So now I'm killing the 17s.
Yeah.
So now it's just like, he legit.
But what was your parents' choice? What was the mindset behind you moving from being able to go to an inner city school where you was born and raised at to going to Janesville DeWitt, which was like right outside the city?
The real story of me going to Janesville DeWitt, my brother got shot that me going into the 9th grade.
Deshaun, correct?
Yeah. So pretty much they like, yo, they want us doing this thing in basketball. We need to kind of protect him from all the extra shit.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So am I gonna go to Fowler?
Where it could happen.
Or can we protect, like the prize and get out of this? We don't need to be dealing with, I mean? And I respect my parents for doing that. I mean, move. At first, I'm like, yo, I ain't trying to do all that shit. Like, I ain't about to leave, like, my friends and all that. I mean, when I got there, I'm like, you know what? This probably is a better move for me. I'm safe. I don't got to be dealing with, the extra shit. And that pretty much was the move.
So we're gonna took you to get comfortable. What things did you do, or who was the first person you met that was like, all right, we put you under the wing. This how I rock out here.
I had a friend that played AU with me. So he was on the Syracuse Select team with me. He went to JD. Well, it was two of them, my fault. One of them even made it to the league.
Okay.
Tyler Kavanaugh.
Yes, do know him.
So I've been playing with them since I was in the 7th grade. So even when I went to JD, I'm still teaming up with my boys from AU.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Chemistry was there too.
Chemistry was there. And I was just on business. As soon as I got there, I'm business time.
So every day working out, did your work ethic ever change, or do you think it just got more? You said at 7th grade you was 6 in the morning every day getting it in.
I got more.
Did it just exceeded?
Yeah. So even when I got to high school, now I'm lifting. Yeah, my game just elevated after that.
So when you get to 8th grade year, getting ready to go into freshman year, that's when I think, don't get me wrong, I think we are able to process the game at a young age, right? Yeah. But I think you really start to learn the nuances of the game, style of the game, swag of the game, who you kind of want your game to be after, right? At that age, who were some of the NBA players that you think you were like, all right, I look at them, I want to take a piece of this from their game, I want to take a piece of that from their game?
Well, first of all, let me give credit to Brandon Trish.
Okay.
Even playing with him just elevated my game.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, who do I play like? So I was more like Zach Randolph at the time. I always used to kind of look at Shaq, but I had a lot of footwork with me. So, I just looked at everybody. I just, pretty much I used to just watch game film on YouTube. I watched everybody.
So another thing, so I coached for a little bit, assistant coach, and I think that sometimes coaches coach height to always meet the coach's advantage as opposed to coaching them for what the next level would be, right? Yeah. So 6'10", 6'9" guy like you now is usually on the wing, shooting, tray ball, and all of that, right? But when you up here, a lot of times you're the tallest thing on the court. Yeah. So they usually build you to be solely a big man. Who in your career or in your time kind of got you to get your footwork right, your handle right, your jumper right, like Zach Randolph? Because Zach Randolph was an anomaly in the sense that he was one of the earlier big men to bring it 15, 20 feet out, hit you with a left-handed, you know what I'm saying, jumper, mid-range, or anything like that.
At that time, that's what I'm saying. When I was in high school, it wasn't a lot of bigs doing that. So, I don't know. I was really looking at a lot of wing players and shit. Okay. That's how I got my shit going.
Yeah.
mellow. I work out like mellow, like mid range, turning face, jab, shot, step out to the three. That's kind of how I was modeling my game as. But as the game evolved, and I got like a little older, now it's more like it pretty much was like a mix of everybody.
Everybody.
Like
you was a student of the game.
I'm not like I. It's hard for me to compare myself to anybody. You see, I never compare myself to anybody because I was the #1 player at the time.
For sure.
Why am I comparing myself to anybody?
Somebody else.
Like that's just always was my mindset. Like, but I take stuff here and there. I might take Katie like jab step. I might take Carmelo turning face, jab, shot. Like it's just pretty much like everything. You know what I mean?
So, at what point in high school did the college recruitment start going to an all-time high? And when it did, what were some of the schools, if you could name them, that were recruiting you?
It kind of started in the middle school. So
Go back.
Yeah, so I got offered from Syracuse in the 8th.
How does that work? Because you can't sign the commitment. I never understood that. So you hear people like, he committed to, or he has whatever.
They can offer you,
So how do you legally, or how does that work as an 8th grader? You got 5 more years left on your track record. How does that work that you get an offer in 8th grade? Like, is it a verbal commitment that you give, or a verbal offer that they give?
Well, I didn't commit.
Okay. So what's the difference between the 8th grader saying he verbally commits at this time, and is there any legal binding to that, or is just you said you were going to do it and they post it because you said you were going to do it?
I think it's more like that. I mean, I'm pretty much like I'm gonna say I'm saying I'm going here.
Yeah.
But you just didn't sign. Just holding my word.
Copy. Okay. I just didn't know what the difference was. So what were the schools? So you said you got one from SU. What any other schools in 8th grade?
So Syracuse was my first one. So 9th grade it picked up, and pretty much like my story is really different because it's not even really like they was offering me. It's just like I could just pick whatever school I wanted to go to.
What a luxury. So
like it wasn't like.
But what I'm saying is, give me some of them schools. You got to put some respect on your name. Who was some of the, give me your top 5 schools that
Kentucky,
you think recruited you. God.
Ohio State, Syracuse, Arizona, UCLA. Listen, I got offered from every school in the United States but Duke.
So let me ask you this question. How many schools did you go on a visit to?
3.
What were they? What schools were they?
Ohio State, Kentucky, and Syracuse.
What were the visits like at Ohio State and Kentucky?
Ohio State, it was more laid back because it was like the beginning of school. It was cool. Jared Sullinger, so they feeding me like, yo, you can be the next Jared Sullinger. And I know Jared Sullinger.
Okay.
He was like, you know Jared Sullinger,
yeah,
right?
I know what you're talking about.
And I had many run-ins with Jared Sullinger and like Stoudemire camp. You know what the Stoudemire camp is, right? It's like the best power fours in the country. They come, work out for like a week. So even me like playing against Jared Sullinger, I see my game like
could match with them.
Could match with him. So I went out there. He was out there on a visit. He a cool dude, and that visit was cool. But it wasn't school time, so it was
so
like
it wasn't a lot of people there. He wasn't able to get the full school experience. How was your Kentucky visit?
That was my official visit. Kentucky was cool. That was the like their Midnight Madness. You know how Syracuse got the Midnight Madness. So I went out there for the Midnight Madness. They probably had like 6 recruits there. So that was cool. Then Syracuse was cool. Dion Waiters and Scoop Jardine was my host.
Was your host? That's it. So was that the same year Meek Mill came there?
No, because I went to Kentucky.
The week that Meek Mill came there?
Yep, the week Meek Mill came there.
So what made you choose Syracuse over the other schools in a sense? And I'm saying that because the risk of being close to home gets temptation of home temptation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I get that.
What was it that made you pick Syracuse over your other schools that you had?
To keep it real, when I was coming out of high school, I got the mindset, I really don't care where I go to.
Okay.
I'm confident enough that I feel like I could just go to any university, put in the work, and I'm going to go to the league.
Yeah.
So it's not really... But then that's what I'm saying. So I would love to have my family watch, my close friends, that was the big thing for me.
Okay, let's back up
Yeah.
quickly, because I think you have an achievement that not many Central New Yorkers have under their belt, which is Mr. New York basketball. So I think in all states, like when you think of basketball states and you hear Mr. Basketball, you gotta respect that, like the Ohios. You know what I'm saying? When you get Mr.
Exactly,
Ohio, that's basketball central. When you get Mr. New York, that's basketball central. So explain the feeling the day when you found out that happened. What was it? Was there anything special that occurred? How was it? I really do want to understand that experience for you because it's special.
So I got Mr. Basketball. When did I get that?
2012, I believe, right?
2012, but I think they announced it when I was in a state championship game.
Okay.
In my senior year, you noticed that I lost the state championship game. I won every year, but
your senior year.
Yeah. So when they awarded that, I think they awarded that probably like half. I don't know. They did some shit. It was that weekend. But I feel like when we lost, I couldn't enjoy it like I should have. Know what I mean?
And that's the
So
competitor.
it kind of went over my head. That's one of the achievements that kind of just go over my head.
When you double back and you're talking to me right now, you know how many people are what the city people would call farm town, right? When they think of upstate New York.
But they already know what it is.
Now they know.
I did too much.
The overall view.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They ain't thinking about us up here. They ain't thinking about the Qs for the most part.
Yeah.
But Mr. Basketball of New York, that means the city, everywhere in the state. That's you. What was your points at that time? What you averaged?
Probably like 25 and 12.
What was was that your best year ever?
Either that year or my junior year. Either one.
One of them two was your favorite years? Every basketball player that I know got one of them moments. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want your best 2 plays ever in high school that you can remember off the top of your head.
My best 2 plays?
Plays. Dunking on somebody, behind the back, whatever it was. What was the play? Who you embarrassed?
Just in high school.
Just in high school for right now, yeah.
So we playing this OCC tournament the beginning of the season. We always the team to beat in the OCC. Like, this our shit. So so
Say it again, what you said?
This our shit.
Y'all shit, JD
So,
shit? All right, go ahead.
It was one game, it was like an 8 o'clock game on like a Sunday. It's like the end of the tournament. And when I tell you, it's not even nobody in the gym like that. I fuck around and get like a fast break, and I'm coming down, and I got like somebody like trying to block the shot. So when I tell y'all rose up and dunked the shit so hard, no. It went through the net and broke his nose.
The ball did?
Yo. You think, yo.
Why did he even jump though?
I don't know.
So let me ask you this question. Like I said, I ain't never been up there before. So when you dribbling, right, it's got to end up being, when you know you about to
And it was probably quick. It wasn't even like I was dribbling. It was quick. I probably took 2 dribbles, bang.
Dunked on it.
Rosed up. And I flushed that shit so hard. That shit went through the... And it was just like perfect timing because he's like running right under the basket. It was like perfect timing. When I dunked it, the shit, it went directly down on his nose. Matt, like,
everything
gushing.
Came out?
Gushing, yeah.
Crazy.
So that was crazy, but that's a story a lot of people don't know because it wasn't a lot of people in the gym. You know what I mean? So,
but the ones who know, they'll solidify it. That's a fact.
That and, I don't know, just winning the state championship.
3 in a row.
Like,
Did you 3? Y'all 3-peated, right?
3-peated, yeah. But it's a whole lot of shit.
That's a vibe right there, though.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of shit.
3-peating states is crazy. Boom, senior year, win Mr. Basketball, pick Cuse. Explain to me what your freshman year was like. I think it's misconstrued. I think it's misunderstood. So I want you to tell your story from your perspective. But when you hear all of those accolades coming out of high school going in, and then you look at your numbers that you had at Cuse, somebody just looking at paper would be like, how did he fall, anything of that nature. But I want you to explain it. I know your story, but I would like you to explain it yourself as well, too.
Yeah. Nah, don't forget the McDonald's All-American.
I was going there, too. McDonald's All-American. I completely forget. Yeah, let's not forget that.
Yeah, don't forget that.
Go to that situation.
McDonald's.
Did you get the whole experience of McDonald's All-American?
What do you mean?
Meaning as, you know how some people get the reserves. You was starter.
Nah, hell no.
You was in
I was
there.
the starter.
Facts. So
Yeah.
you got down. Give me all of that. I used to watch that shit all the time. So where'd you fly into?
Chicago.
Fly into Chicago.
Yeah.
What's your first day in Chicago? Like, what do they do? Media, all that? What's up?
Media, meeting the players, getting your gear.
Yeah. Who sponsored this time?
This was Adidas.
Adidas. Does it flip-flop? Or has it always been Adidas for the American game? For the McDonald's? I can't remember. I thought Nike did it one year. I think Nike did it the year Brown was going, right?
I think it was Reebok, probably.
Probably, but go ahead.
It was never Nike.
Never Nike.
Yeah.
Copy. Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's another story.
We'll get there. We got time.
All right,
go where you
all
at
right,
right
cool.
now. So what's up? What you say? You got there doing media.
So, the first day, it's pretty much like all the camps is the same thing. Like, when you go to like the elite camp and like the McDonald's All-American, they all got the same setup. You go in there, you fly in, you get to the hotel, you pick up your gear. That's the first thing you do. Do you probably lounge a little bit? They tell you could go to the game room, you go to your room. Usually we all go to the game room. I mean, meet the other players. Then the first day kind of just be chill. Then like the second day, that's when they have everything lined up.
Workouts, game.
You might talk to the media after your workouts. You go get something to eat. We go to the McDonald house out in Chicago.
Okay.
Then we do it all. We do it all week pretty much.
So the game we see is what game? That's the only game y'all play that?
That's the McDonald's All-American.
True, but what I'm saying is, do y'all play games leading up to that?
Yeah, we got
Copy.
like a
I didn't know that.
scrimmage.
See, I never knew that.
We got workouts, then we got like a scrimmage.
Okay.
Then y'all finally see like the game.
So give me, is there a funny story, a person that ended up making it to the league that you got a memory with that was there? NBA player that you met was there? Give us one of them quick.
Shit, everybody. I mean, like the McDonald's All-American game, like probably like 75% of the
All go to the
roster make it to the league.
Make it to the league, yeah.
You feel me? So
For sure.
not really a funny story because I mean we all on business time when
Fact,
we out
y'all was
there.
all trying to,
Yeah, hell nah. Shit. Yeah, pretty much we on business time. It's just real competitive.
So you get the Q's. Explain your story from Q's. First freshman year to senior year, whenever you stopped, and explain it in your, like I said, explain it in your fashion. Like when you hear the accolades that you talk about,
Yeah.
mindset would think something else. But I know your story. But I want the world to know your story, or the people that watch my show the story.
So Q's. So let me tell you how I even picked Q's, because when I was probably in like 10th grade, I noticed like a lot of schools stopped calling me. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? They already think that I'm going to Syracuse because I'm from Syracuse, this and that. I'm like, yo, y'all got to recruit. I'm trying to see what's going on in these other states. A lot of the coaches had like the mindset, I'm not going to waste my time. I think he's just going there anyway. Now I'm telling coaches, yo, I ain't going to, like, why y'all think I'm going, y'all got to do y'all work.
Exactly.
It seemed like I was committed. I wasn't even committed to Syracuse.
In any way, form, verb, nothing?
But all these coaches was like pretty much acting like I was committed to Syracuse, but they all kind of like fell back just because I lived here in Syracuse. I'm like, yo, now I'm start reaching out to coaches. Like, yo, what's the deal? I need some visits. I at least got to take my official visits. I formed like a list, a 5-school list, took my visits. Going into my senior year, I had a visit. Mind you, I went to Kentucky and Ohio State. And when I went to Syracuse, it was just like, all right, fuck it. Dion Waiters and Scoop was my host. And I just thought they was like, I mean, genuine. I mean, they telling me the in and outs. So I'm like, it just kind of feel right. It's home. It kind of feel right.
Yeah.
November, that's when I committed. I'm like, yeah, I'm
So you go to Syracuse. Let me ask this question. Jim Boeheim's retiring this year. I don't know. I mean, that's how it's going down.
Yeah.
He's a legend. Not only in Central New York, not only at Syracuse, but across the nation.
Yeah.
Right? Explain his demeanor a little bit. You get in there, how much direct communication do you have with Jimmy? How's Jimmy? What's Jimmy like?
Boeheim, I probably talked to Boeheim throughout high school, maybe 3 times. I always talked to Hop. So Hop was my recruiter. For me, I always talked to Hop. Boeheim is just always just like, he's the coach, but the assistants
do the work.
Yeah. So I always talk to Hop. I talked to Boeheim a few times, and when I did talk to him, we had to sit down, and he was just like, yo, you could come in here, you're gonna start. I mean, I could see this for you. You remind me of like Dajuan Coleman. Mm-hmm. Feel me? They always say that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you could start. So I'm like, all right, cool. I had a good visit with Dion in school.
And then you talked to Jimmy.
Yeah, and it was just something, I'm like, yo, it just feel right. Because you gotta understand, when I come outside of my house, it's just like, everybody like, go to Syracuse. It just, I'm surrounded by this shit.
Love.
It's love, yeah. Like it's my
home, yeah.
It's my city, so I'm like, it feel right. Mm-hmm. I'm about to go to Syracuse.
Copy. You said you talked to Boeheim 3 times during your recruitment. Scoop, Jardine, Dion Waiters, they come and give you your first visit. They your host. They telling you what they think you could contribute to the team. You in your backyard, seeing your family and friends every time you walk out. Say, hey, stay at the crib, so we can come see you, watch you play. Once you get to Syracuse, what is your experience like?
I decided to go to Syracuse. I think November of my senior year. Decided to go to Syracuse. I get to Syracuse. I was working at like a strength and motion program here in Syracuse just to drop weight.
It was next to OCC, right?
Nah. This
or did
was
they
like
move at the
WIC.
time?
Yeah, this was like in the WIC.
I
So
remember what you're talking about, though.
I ended up losing like 30 pounds. Bam told me like, yo, you gonna start this and that. So I'm preparing myself. So I get to Syracuse, killing. Feel me? Killing. First exhibition game come up. I mean, I'm at the wing in the zone, and I'm playing like the center. So I'm playing like forward and center.
Stretch 4.
And I'm getting my minutes. I'll probably get like 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. First to second game come up.
This in the regular season?
Regular season. I start the game. Now I'm noticing I'm getting put out 47 seconds.
Into each game?
50 seconds. And it's going on throughout the season.
So you going in for 50 and be out the rest of the game?
Listen, out of all the work I put in, we just talked about it.
For sure.
And I don't even care about it. I don't even know what it is. What is it? New York State Roulette? I don't care.
Mr. New York, Mr. Basketball in New York.
I don't care about that.
But you put that work in.
I put the work in. But that's how humble I am. I don't care. I just want to play basketball. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna do my city right. Feel me? I'm gonna put on. The city never had that. #1 player, 3 years in high school. You know how hard that is?
Very hard.
Niggas ain't doing that. Boeheim promised me something that I was gonna start, but it wasn't. He promised me I was gonna start. He started me, and he took me out within the neck in a few seconds. Mm-hmm. So now I'm like, oh shit, it's mind games up in here. Mm-hmm. It's mind games. So you telling me you're gonna start me, and then you take me out. We got 30,000 fans. So I'm looking at him like, yo, what are you doing to me? Imagine a 18-year-old kid, 17-year-old, 18-year-old kid keep getting subbed out every 30 seconds in front of 30,000 fans. You know what that would do to the mental?
I don't want to, but I could only imagine.
You see what I'm saying? So
110%. Is there a point that you feel like giving up? And if there was, what made you keep going?
it was never.
That's what I like to hear.
It was never giving up.
What kept your resilience then?
Listen.
Talk about who Coleman is in the darkest times. How did you respond? What made you keep going?
Because I'm killing niggas. I'm really going in and practicing shit.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's like, all right, so what is we going on? This shit is a little bigger than, I don't know what's going on, but this shit is a little bigger than like what the public eye could see.
For sure. Because why are you killing in practice but not getting the time on the floor?
Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I'm about to just go to practice and I'm about to just dunk on everybody. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking my time's gonna be coming.
Yeah.
But it don't come. Knowing me, I just told you my story, how I go hard. I'm willing to wake up 6 a.m. when I was in middle school. That's my mindset. It's been my mindset. I've been doing this shit. Waking up. Who do you know, even where we work at that work, you think
now,
kids could just work up?
None of them are.
That's what I'm saying. So
that's why I asked you the question earlier.
This has been my mindset.
So when you get to this point, I'm sure you felt discouraged. I'm sure you felt like, what else I gotta do?
I did, yeah.
What thoughts, what things, what people kept you going?
Just knowing my hustle, like just knowing my grind. I mean, I'm not gonna hold you, like, this shit was easy. So I'm like, all right, so if he doing this, I'm thinking I could just go to practice and prove him wrong. And while I'm proving him wrong in practice, that shit ain't doing nothing.
Nothing for you. So at what point do you start making the plan? Because I would assume, being as smart as you are, you seeing how the politics is being played, right? At some point you started thinking about, all right, I'm not the next level. When does the mindset switch to, I'm getting ready to at least continue to work, do what I need to do to get to the next, to get to the overseas league? Or was that not even a thought? Was it something that just came upon itself?
But what do you mean, like backtrack? Like what year? So when I wasn't playing.
So you get to your freshman year, you're not playing. Sophomore year, you get more time, correct?
No.
Junior year, did you get?
But that's what everybody don't know the story. You see what I'm saying?
So would you, if I had to ask a flat question of all 4 years, do you think you got as enough time as you deserved?
Nah.
On the floor?
Nah.
I think we both agree, and you believe that you put the work in to get the time that was deserved to put on the floor.
For a fact. Now I'm going so hard, getting put out the games. Like my mindset, I don't care. You feel me? Cause I'm gonna go hard in practice. You feel me? So I'm going so hard, I feel like I might be doing too much and I fuck around and tore my meniscus. So I tore my meniscus, like, going into, this one was in the Big East. Going to the Big East play. Tore my meniscus. And I was, so now I'm out. He doing all the little extra shit. So I'm out. So even when I tore my meniscus, I'm like, this shit light. I'm gonna bounce back. I know who I am. I know my body. So I end up going into rehab for 4 weeks. And when I tell you the rehab did the best thing for me, because now it's working all my little muscles and all the extras.
Because all of those had to overcompensate for what was missing in your knee.
Yeah. So I feel like I came back the best of my game. Now I'm at probably like 270. I'm 360. I'm 360 windmilling this shit. You know what I mean? Yo, I'm a freak of nature at the time. Yo, but like, so I'm a freak of nature at the time. So I'm like, so when I come back, he still ain't playing me. It only took me 4 weeks to get back. I come back, he ain't playing me. We going into the tournament. That's when we went to the Final Four, Michigan. but I was all set to go. I could play. I'm jumping higher than everybody on the team because I done took 4 weeks before, not playoffs, but
before Big East play.
Yeah, exactly. Conference play. My legs on some old other shit. So I'm like literally ready to play. He ain't play me, so I'm like, all right, fuck it. That's cool. Maybe he don't trust me because, I mean, I came back from injury. Yeah, it's cool. I ain't worried about it. So we go into my sophomore year, right? Sophomore year, we played in Canada.
First game of the year?
It was like the
preseason
tournament, and we happened to just go to Canada. So we go to Canada. One game I had 26 points. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going. This preseason. I'm about to go. When I say I'm about to go, I'm talking about the league.
I know what you're talking about.
We gets into the season. I'm starting, this and that, blah, blah, blah. We get to the, 9th game. I started feeling some shit in my knee. I'm like, what the fuck? Something ain't right. I ended up getting an x-ray. They talking about I had something called the Oates procedure. That's like your cartilage. Pretty much, when I had surgery for my meniscus.
They messed something else up?
No, they seen something. But they rushed me back.
For what? To not give you time?
So what is we doing here?
What are we? It's a crazy business, my brother.
Listen, so.
Crazy business.
They seen something in my knee when they was doing my meniscus is small.
Small, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm thinking like, nigga, I'm about to kill them with here.
I'll be back, I'll be good.
Be God. I'm like, exactly. So the doctor told me like, yeah, we did see something in there when we was doing your meniscus. Going into playoff time, if you notice, you got to have a certain players on your roster
in order to go in. So they wanted you healthy and rushed you back so that you could just be
on the roster. But this is a lot of stuff. That's business, I'm telling y'all some shit that I don't just tell anybody.
As you should. Because my thing is, at the end of the day, and this is what you're here for, I'm at the cloud not only for, people who chasing their dreams, and you chased your dreams, you lived it. Honestly, at the end of the day, let's really talk about real things.
Yeah.
A lot of us don't get the opportunity to make money or do what we love to do for as long as you've been able to do it, right?
Yeah.
A lot of us end after high school, we end up working a 9 to 5, take care of our kids. Our life is relatively normal for the remainder of our life. You had the opportunity to do what you love to do, not what you like to do, what you love to do on a daily basis, make a couple dollars at it and experience the world because you were good at doing what you loved.
That's a fact.
To do, right? But when you love something, there's a flip side. Everybody sees love and sees the good, right? But when you love something and somebody plays with what you love, as such as what you're talking about, it takes a little bit of that away from you, right? I just want to move the conversation slightly forward by saying this. One, I gotta give you your flowers in the space that you were able to remain resilient in such a high stakes business game. Because I think what we forget is, and I do want to ask you one question before we move on, because it's gonna tie right in. But when you think about a college player yourself in your era, the NIL just came up, right? And I think the NIL gives college players protection, money, to be able to protect themselves against the big business that is college basketball, college sports in general, right? So one question I want to ask quick, simple yes or no. Do you agree with the NIL or do you not?
Oh, yeah.
For sure. And then the other question I want to ask is, at what point did you, from your story, I've never been on your level, but I know I've lost encouragement or the love of the game on multiple points. Basketball is the only sport I ever played in my life, right? Never been to your level in my life. Hear me? But I loved it. I assume the way you loved it 10 times more, especially when you've been able to touch the pinnacles you've been able to.
Right.
I want to ask, at what point do you feel like you lost the love for the game? And then at what point did you gain the love for the game back to be able to give back to the game and back to your community?
I feel like I lost the game, the love of the game, when just the fuck shit that I had to go through my senior year.
That's you.
Coming out of the game,
Yeah.
I thought we had an understanding. I honestly feel like I'm one in a lifetime players that come through Syracuse. It's only a few players that come through Syracuse like this.
Yeah.
And I'm not just being like cocky. You know me. I'm humble as hell.
Dajuan, you ain't got listen. If there's any,
I'm like one of a
facts.
Lifetime player that come through here. You gotta protect that.
Let me give y'all. Let me give you your flowers for you. How about I do that? Mr. New York Basketball Award, former Syracuse players. That's just Syracuse University. We're not even talking about the city of Syracuse. You hear me? You, Brandon Trish, Johnny Flynn, John Wallace. The only former SU players to be Mr. New York Basketball.
Okay.
All right? Let's put yourself in that list.
Nah.
Mind you, bro, you're actually from Syracuse, New York. You're only one of two.
From the West Side.
You're only one, hear me out. You're only one of two people
Who?
to be Mr. Basketball New York.
Oh, Brandon, yeah.
Trish
Yeah.
and you.
Yeah.
From the city of Syracuse, born and raised.
Yeah.
So when you talk about you one of a kind, I don't think you gotta say that much. It's there. You feel me? And I think you need your flowers when you say that. If there's anything I can do, man, that man deserves his flowers.
Yeah.
110%. So lose the love for the game, man. But we always love the game. The game is like, it's like when you see that favorite,
yeah.
it's like when you see that favorite part in Paid in Full, and it's like, I can lead the game, but I want to be like Magic, a Bird, or one of them niggas. If I leave the game, they still gonna love me.
But that's what I'm trying to, this is my life.
They still gonna love me? But guess what? They love you. Because if they didn't, man, you want to be doing the good fucking work that you're doing now. You want to have these kids looking up to you the way they now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Well,
they want to revere you where they revere you. I think honestly, you got to give yourself more flowers too, because I think they revere you more than you may revere yourself, because you are so humble, right?
Man.
But you like Jada as your rapper. There's a difference between cockiness and confidence. So when I tell you I'm the best, or you the best, or they tell me I'm the best, it's just a compliment. Feel me? So you walk around with that with your head high, man. But I think one thing we always think about is, as individuals, when we look at our parents, your parents always tell you this, if you come from especially an African-American household. They say, I just want to raise a good citizen, a good individual, a good person, somebody that has morals, right? No matter how many accolades you got, Dajuan, you've always been that. And I believe and think that you've made your parents proud in that nature, right? And it shows in the work you do today. So I just want to give a quick story. I started working at a spot called the Good Life Foundation 9 months ago. And in doing so, I was placed in Syracuse Blodgett Middle School on the west end of town where Dajuan is from. So when I walk in there, there's this tall dude in there working. I knew who he was. He'd been working there as well too, but he taking kids to his room, 13 of them, 14 of them, chopping it up with them, directing kids through school. And then once I realized especially who it was, I understood that this was a kid from here, giving back to his community, choosing, he knows people across the world. He's talked to many individuals, as you heard his story. He could have went anywhere in the world to go work, anywhere in the world to go make the best dollar, but he chose his own community where he's from, specifically his side of town where he's from, to work in and work intimately with them kids who he said earlier in this interview are just like him. We're gonna get into the work specifically that he does with me directly, but I do wanna talk to him about how you give back to the city of Syracuse by being a coach with Mr. Cornelius Vines, who was a good player at Henniger as well too. Mm-hmm. But you being the coaches, I read a article. I just want to read what it said to you in the beginning of it. It said, I just want to read the headline.
Yeah.
And you tell me what it means to you. It says, new Nottingham coaching staff breathes life into the Nottingham basketball program. When you hear that, what does that mean to you in totality?
What does that mean to me? Like I told you, I was supposed to go to Fowler, and I ended up transferring to JD. And I was leaving my friends and shit, which I didn't want to do, but I understood that was probably the best decision for me. So this is me more like, this is my time planning in the city, like doing what I want to do, giving back, and it's only right. Feel me? Like this is an inner city school. Like I want to work with the inner city's kids.
Yes.
The fuck? Like
exactly. And honestly, yo,
yeah, like
I said earlier in this like
that's
before
what I
we
want to
even
do.
got on camera, man. Like I said, I come from Auburn, New York, man. Majority of our population is white.
Listen, man.
It is so much more gratifying.
It's so much
to work in that space and see the appreciation and the love and the appreciation of these kids and just look for it. Anybody that might ask them how their day is. To ask one of the little niggas how their day is makes their day.
It's so much Dajuan Coleman's of the kids we work with. I don't even think you...
I hear it. Say it again for the camera.
Listen, it's so much Dajuan Coleman's of the kid we work with.
Yeah.
Something as small as you asking how the kid, that's what I'm literally trying to tell you. That's how it came up, from a teacher telling me how's your day, this and that. I'm like, oh shit, she vouching for me.
She cares.
She cares. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
If a teacher asking me like, oh, how's your day, this and that, blah, blah, blah. That shit matters. I don't think a lot of people like know that. Like, little shit like that matters. That's all they might need.
To get through the day.
So now I'm about to get through the day. They care about me. Now I'm about to go to practice. Now I'm about to go to practice, and I'm about to work on my game. But that's what I'm saying. So even the coach, that's where I'm at Nottingham. Even the coach asking about, how was your day? Or I'm trying to, put you in this workout, blah, blah, blah. We about to get better.
So, in closing, my last name's McLeod, but that isn't the reason. I called it the Cloud because we live in an era where you type anything in a phone, anything on the internet, stays there, right?
Yeah.
I call my podcast the Cloud because I want the messages that my guests bring their stories to stick with the people who watch. With that said, I usually ask my guests to leave a message to leave in the cloud.
For the people, whatever you think in life you could do that shit. If it's, you gotta do your homework, research it, find a hobby, find your friends, keep your circle small, and just grind. Feel me? That's literally what I did. And the big thing when I was young is choices. Make the right choices when you're young. And that's what got me to where I was at. I made the right choices. I was always looking, if something don't look right, I ain't doing it. I told you, me and my brother, we was always, no, I don't even think I told you, but me and my brother, we was always bigger than everybody. So we always hung out with like the bigger crowd. So we about 10, I'm 10, he's 11. We always hung out with probably like motherfuckers like 14, 15. Because we could fit in, because we big. Look at me, I'm big.
For sure.
A lot of motherfuckers don't got your best interests. And when I was young, I picked on that quick. I'm like, yo, how am I 10 and I'm hanging out with 14-year-olds and I'm making the best decision for them? So when I see y'all about to do some dumb shit, I'm going in the crib. And they thinking, oh, he's scary or this and that.
I'm not stupid. I'm not dumb.
Yo, this is Syracuse for you though.
Hey, yo, man, look.
Listen, but this is what I've been dealing with since I've been young. This Syracuse for you though.
Facts.
So it's all about choices. Even when we working in these schools, everything is choices. You see these kids. Mm-hmm. It's more about like follow the leader
than it is about.
And I'm like, no, you don't have to do that. Be your own person, because I was the person that's always, everybody always asking me like, yo, you look mean, blah, blah, blah. Or you don't talk, you antisocial.
Just watch.
No, I'm not. I'm watching y'all. I've been through this shit.
For sure.
When motherfuckers doing this and that, I'm going that. When the motherfucker go
left, right.
So no. So no. So if a motherfucker thinking like that, when I'm 11-year-old,
what you gonna think like when you grow?
When I'm 11 years old and looking at people that's doing wrong, and I'm gonna go that way, how am I thinking that way when I'm younger than y'all? Mm-hmm. I've been him.
I used to tell kids I work with all the time, maturity is a mindset, not a number.
No, it is. Nah, you right.
Right? Maturity is a mindset.
Listen,
maturity is a mindset.
Nah, you right.
Not a number, right?
You right.
You could be, there's 40-year-old niggas we know living in 15-year-old minds.
Listen.
Feel me? So I resonate with that 110%. I want to say thank you to my man, Dajuan. If possible, I want to say shout out to my man, O'Neal Platinum Chin Petty, AKA Mouth. He passed away, stage 4 cancer a few weeks ago. Actually, a couple days ago, we had his benefit, things like that. I want to just take a minute to remember him. When I was about 11, 13 years old, anywhere between 11 and 13, I thought I could rap. Everybody wanted to be the next Jada, Jay-Z, all of that. If you think about that time, there wasn't a lot of people, especially in Auburn, New York, who were recording or even attempting to try and give you a space to be creative in that sense. There was me and a few of my friends, Jelon Richardson, Richie, who still raps, my man Tim Agee, my right-hand man, Roy Wilson, myself, and a kid named Tim Payoff. Mouth had his own studio, I'm talking way before his time, built-in, plexiglass, all of that, and just sent us in there. Kids over there probably saying a whole bunch of shit we ain't ever did, a whole bunch of shit like that, right? But I said this on Facebook a little bit ago, I'm gonna just say it again quick. He gave us a message that I didn't realize was a message until later in life. We live in such a small town, but we don't gotta think in the city limits. We live in such a small town, there's nothing wrong with shooting for the stars and doing what you love to do and what you dream to do and attempting to do that on a daily basis. So when I think about my man Neil Petty, I want to remember that. I want to remember his creativeness. I want to remember his positive messages. And I want him to know that I wouldn't be in front of this camera today or have the balls to be in front of this camera today if it wasn't for minds and like minds like his. Rest in peace, O'Neal Petty, Mouth, Platinum Chin, all the characters you were, bro. Love you.